What's up guys, it's Justin Stenstrom from Elite Man Magazine, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to instantly change your emotional state. It doesn't matter whatever situation you're facing, whatever tough challenge you're going against, or whatever shitty environment you're currently in, and how bad your mental state is. Using this one powerful technique I'm going to talk about in just one moment, you can instantly change the way you're feeling. So rather than just come out and tell you what this powerful technique is, I'd rather just demonstrate exactly how powerful it really is. So a few years back, there was this guy, you probably recognize his name, a guy by the name of Michael Strahan, the former NFL legend, the NFL great. He was a defensive end, a beast. He had all these sacks and tackles and just an unbelievable football player. Michael Strahan was on this talk show. Actually, he hosted the talk show with this woman, I believe it was Kelly Ripa, and this guy came on the show who you may or may not recognize by the name of Richard Bandler. Now, Dr. Richard Bandler, for anyone who recognizes his name, is a legend in the self-help community. He actually inspired guys like Tony Robbins and Paul McKenna to go on and do incredible things, and he's the co-founder of something called NLP. Now, as it turns out, Bandler was called onto the show with Ripa and Strahan because Strahan had an unbelievable fear of snakes. In fact, a few episodes before, someone threw like a fake snake at Strahan and he had a meltdown. He flipped out and he was going crazy because he was so scared of snakes and he couldn't be around them at all. So they called this guy Bandler up because they wanted to see if he could help Strahan overcome his fear of snakes and get past that irrational phobia that Strahan carried with him for many, many years surrounding snakes. Now, I'm not sure anyone even thought that Strahan was going to overcome his fear of snakes in just one episode, but as it turns out, he did. By systematically taking Strahan through a series of steps, Bandler was actually able to help Strahan tap into his own head and reverse the irrational fears that he was having around snakes. So here's what Bandler did. The first thing he actually did was quite counterintuitive. He had Strahan visualize his normal reaction or his current reaction to when snakes were around him or when they were in his presence. He had him step into all the emotions that he had, all the feelings he had, and all those crazy thoughts that he had that went along with those snakes. Bandler had Strahan do this for a couple of minutes to really take in the gravity of Strahan's fear toward these snakes. He really had him visualize as vivid as possible these snakes and see all the movements they were making and all the sights and the sounds and the sensations that he had surrounding these snakes, and he really had Strahan visualize as clear as possible and as large as possible this picture of the snakes. And then he asked him details about exactly what he saw, and Strahan revealed that this picture was enormous and the snakes were actually moving and flying right at him, and a couple other details that really pinpointed Strahan's fear towards these snakes. Bandler then tells Strahan to take that massive picture that he just visualized and shrink it down to the size of a quarter, so it's incredibly small. And not only that, but take all the vividness of it, the colors and all the brightness that he saw before, and make it black and white. And then Bandler has Strahan do this entire process again. He has him visualize that first scary picture and then shrink it really small and then turn it black and white. And finally, Bandler asked Strahan what his thoughts about snakes are now, and Strahan's reaction is basically a shrug. He basically goes, I don't really care, I'm good. He's indifferent either way. He doesn't love snakes now, but he's not scared of snakes at all by the end of this. And that's the power of association and the power of NLP. The key to this entire process, however, is that visualization, both the visualization of whatever it is you want to get rid of and making that as vivid as possible, and then the visualization afterwards of shrinking that down, making it black and white. In some instances, you can pretend that you're throwing it like miles away. There's so many different variances and different techniques to actually applying this strategy, but the core here is actually getting that visualization down and feeling those emotions, both the bad ones first and then the good ones afterward. And that's really the key to changing your emotional state in any situation. It's simply taking all the bad things that are causing you harm and visualizing it as clear as possible, all the feelings and emotions and thoughts that you have surrounding this bad thing, and then replacing it with a favorable one, a good one, or even an indifferent one, something that's not going to cause you pain anymore, and visualizing that as clear as possible. And again, there are so many different ways to apply this technique here, so many different strategies and processes that work phenomenally, but essentially what you're doing here is just retraining your brain to act a certain way, a way that you desire it to act, as opposed to the way that it's been conditioned to act. And you're just snapping it out of the constant program that it has when it's in different situations that you don't like. Now, it takes a little bit of practice practice to get the essence of this skill down. But try this out next time. The next time you feel shitty about whatever has popped up in your life, try stepping into that fully for a moment and actually visualizing and feeling and having all those sensations that surround that shitty feeling or bad occurrence in your life, and then switch that over with something good. So fully embody feeling good or feeling happy or feeling even indifferent about what's happening, and make that the bigger picture. Make that more vivid and clear than the other one so you can get past it. And by the way, by the end of that episode where Strahan and Ripa had Bandler on, Strahan's actually holding a snake. Like, he basically has it wrapped around his shoulders and arms because he has no more fear surrounding snakes. That just shows you how powerful this technique is and how powerful NLP can be. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like below, and also share this video with someone you think who could benefit from watching it. Either tag them in the comment section below or share this video on your social media channel. And lastly, make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, hit the notification bell, and follow me on Instagram at Justin Stenstrom.